Hi guys, Sins here. Welcome to the channel as always. And at last I finally got around to doing you guys my review of the Cold War beta. As you can quite clearly see as well, I am using stream gameplay, but that's because the gameplay I specifically recorded for YouTube videos and stuff like that had got all messed up, corrupted or whatever, I just don't know. I'm just sort of making do with what I've got really, so unfortunately we have to resort to the stream stuff. But it doesn't really matter, it just shows the nice gameplay, and I've got some nice bits and pieces going on for you guys as well to look at while I'm talking to you. So I do hope you enjoy the video. As I said, I'm going to run through my review of the Cold War beta, tell you my thoughts on it, what I liked, what I didn't like. So I do hope you enjoy it. If you do as well, guys, please don't forget I do stream on Twitch every Monday and Sunday, so you're more than welcome to come into the streams, into the chat, talk about Call of Duty in any way, shape or form, and let's get talking. But without further ado, let's get into this review of the beta. Okay guys, first of all, I'm going to start off with the things that I didn't like about the beta. And the big one of the big ones for me was the aim assist issues that seemed to be sort of apparent during the beta. And for me, it didn't seem to happen all the time. It was just happening every now and again. So I don't know if they actually tried to fix it and just made it a little bit better. But in my experience, it was more so when enemies were running across me, so running laterally to me, and as I'm trying to sweep across and try and shoot them, there seems to be like a bubble. So one of the best sort of analogies I can sort of think of for you guys to understand what I mean is if you get two magnets and put the two positive sides together and try and push them together. That was the sort of thing that was trying to happen. It was like the aim assist was trying to deflect my aim off them, and I couldn't snap on aim and get onto them. It did seem to get better, I feel, over the weekend, but there's still a little slight issue there, so I do hope that gets fixed. Secondly, which is a real sort of big one, is player visibility. Oh my god, sometimes you just could not see enemy players, especially when they were stood still in certain situations. There's just certain bits there where people were just stood there and you just don't see them. I had it on this map, Satellite. I had it on Moscow. Definitely on some of the bigger maps for like the 12v12 maps on Armada, and in the snow map, in certain situations where you just couldn't see them. So I have got some examples that I will throw up on the screen for you as I'm talking about it. So my very first game that I played on Moscow, I'll throw that up here now as well. And you can just, if you can see as I'm approaching the escalator area, as I turn the corner, one guy jumps across, and then can you spot the other one? And I'll just zoom in there now as well for you guys so you can actually see where he was. And I've had it again on Satellite, especially against the rocks or in sort of some of the plane sort of fuselage stuff like that again as well. And I just do hope that the guys get that fixed and maybe sort of put a bit of occlusion around, or light illumination around the enemy players in sort of darker shaded areas, and that's just going to help them pop and just make sure we can see them properly and we just don't run into those type of situations anymore. Quick talk about spawns. I'm not going to go into this too deep and go too mad with this one. I just had certain situations, again it was on Satellite I think it was, where we'd spawn cave side and we'd push then across into mid-map and dunes, and I've had times where I've died, I've spawned sort of back dunes where you spawn first with the buggies and stuff, and as I'm coming out of spawn, the enemy players are then spawning behind me as well. Now whether that's just unlucky on my part because my team's pushed too far into spawn and that forces those to flip over, but it's just very strange where I've just literally spawned and then I've gone around, moved like into the dune area, and then they spawned behind me and killed me behind me. But I think it was more just one of those weird sort of situations that sort of happen, but it is definitely something to look at, and I'm sure as the game goes on and the more data they get, the spawns then will just sort of even out a little bit more, and the spawn logic is just going to get better and better. Next, we're going to talk about the sliding or the slide animation in the game. Even though they have fixed it from the first weekend of the beta and the alpha, when sliding was just completely and utterly broken and people could abuse it slightly and you just seem to like Superman across the screen. Although a lot of that now is a lot better and it's not as jarring, there is still an issue, especially when you view it in third person. In first person, it's not like now you're sort of really shooting fast, but in third person, when you see an enemy player do it, they are very hard to track. So the animation just needs to slow down, I feel, just ever so slightly, just to make it not as jarring as the enemy player slides across you on your screen. But again, I think more time given, it's going to get a lot better or at least I hope it does, and that sort of situations don't occur as often anymore. Just a quick last one, guys, and you probably know what I'm going to say anyway, and that is the mid-map area on Cartel. Man, those bushes are just an absolute pain in the rear end. They're just too goddamn high, and that's the top and bottom of it, really. I think what needs to happen in that, if they can just drop the height of those bushes slightly, that'll just make that center map a lot more easier to navigate and just let us see enemy players, because in the state that it's in right now, you can't see anybody. You are literally playing hide and seek with people in that mid area, especially like in hardpoint and domination and things like that. It's just an absolute nightmare. So I think if they just drop the height slightly so you can see sort of like the mid chest upwards of the head and you can see people moving, I think that'll make that mid map area play a whole lot better. Okay, first of all, for the things I did really like about the game, I thought the menu system was pretty decent. It was better than, I think, if I look back, I think Black Ops 4, when they added the cursor and you had to use your thumbstick, especially on controller. That was just a nightmare to use. You kept overshooting your menu and all that type of stuff. This one, very easy to navigate. Everything's really easy to find. I do hope it continues down that way, but I just thought I'd mention it here because it's just something that's really easy to use and very intuitive, and I like decent UI. The sound design, I really like the sound design. I can hear footsteps clearly. The guns aren't too loud like they are in Modern Warfare, where they're like really loud, piercing. The score streaks aren't overly loud as well, which I really like. It just helps balance the sound around me so I can hear exactly what's going on. I can still hear enemies. I thought overall the sound design was very good. I can't actually think of anything where I've run into any issues on the sound design. I could be wrong, but I've not jotted anything down at all. I think I can definitely hear if people are coming from the left, from the right, whether they're above me or whether they're below me. I actually thought the sound design, as I say, was very good, so props to that. The graphical fidelity, or the graphics of the game, I think the graphics are pretty decent. I don't think it's at the standard as Modern Warfare, so maybe that's probably a negative, but I did like the graphics. I liked the way everything looked. I thought they did really well. I liked the way everything looked. I thought everything was planned out really nice. The guns done really well, so I've got no complaints with the graphical fidelity of the game in itself. I'm really looking forward to seeing how it looks on the new generation of consoles and things like that, because I think that's possibly limiting it on the consoles itself on the older generation, whereas this has probably been optimized more so for the newer generations. So I am quite looking forward to seeing how that does look and see if that makes any improvements. But I'm sure over these next 4 weeks that there are going to be more improvements to the graphical sharpness and the fidelity of it, because they have made improvements as well in the weekend, so keep it up. I really like the gunsmith as well. I like that to take the elements of both sort of pick 10 and the gunsmith idea. I do really like that system in Modern Warfare. I think it's really nice. I do like the addition of the wild cards as well, so you can have up to eight class slots. Is that the right word? I think it is. So you can have up to 8 class slots on your weapon if you so choose. I think it was a really nice idea. The gun balance was fairly decent. I know a lot of people say like the AK-74U was just an absolute monster in the first part of the beta, or the first weekend of the beta at least, but I think they did some adjustments to it and it wasn't as strong anymore in the second weekend, so that was a nice plus point. Snipers were definitely quite strong, which I did quite like. Had some fun with the snipers. It was quite fun, even though I'm bad with them. But yeah, the snipers were fun, and also the ARs got a lot better once you got attachments on them as well, because I generally run ARs, and I really enjoyed playing with the submachine guns as well. The submachine guns was definitely a plus point for me as well, because I'm getting into sub play. So yeah, overall I think the gun balance was very well. You could do well with most guns. Obviously you're going to get a top tier and a lower tier of weapon, which I think will become more apparent when we get hold of the full game and get more weapons. But overall, I think the guns that we had available to us over the weekend were very well balanced between themselves, and I really enjoyed using everything that I used. Okay, and moving on, we're going to talk about map design and my thoughts on map design in Cold War. For the most part, I thought the map design was really good. I really enjoyed the maps, especially Moscow. Moscow was definitely my favourite map. I couldn't quite get to grips with Satellite in the beginning, and I don't know why, but towards the end I really got to see how it flowed, which way people were going on common spots and stuff like that, and I actually really did enjoy it. Same with Miami as well. That flows a bit strangely from time to time, but once you get it down, it is quite nice and it is easy to sort of read the map and play and just have some fun. Overall, I think the map design was quite good. Treyarch traditional 3-lane style maps, all not too big or not too small, just that nice sort of medium to small sort of map sort of sizes, and I really did enjoy them. Quite a lot better and easier to read than say like Modern Warfare is at the moment, with its all the different buildings and levels and the complexity of those maps, where people can be in many different spots and it's really hard to keep an eye on many different areas in one go. On Modern Warfare, Cold War sort of simplified it down quite a bit and just made the map quite easy to read, and I really did enjoy that, and I'm looking forward to seeing all the other maps, especially for multiplayer, in the full build of the game. For me, one of the best features that got added in the beta was the FOV slider. Now, as many of you know, I'm a console player, so this is the first time, and especially in Call of Duty, that this feature's been added. So for me, this is absolutely fantastic addition, and I'm glad it's in. And hopefully going forward, I hope it's going to be in all the up and coming titles for Call of Duty, because this feature is absolutely fantastic. As I say, the extra width or perception you get to the left and your right when you adjust this is absolutely amazing, and it just shows how much of an advantage PC players can get with the FOV slider. That extra view allows you to see so much more of the map and what's going on around you. It's absolutely brilliant, so I'm really glad that they added it into the game. I used it at about 90. It really helped out, as I say, with the width, but also the movement seems to be a lot faster as well. I know it's only a perception of what it is because you adjust that field of view, but I think it's absolutely stunning addition, and I'm glad it's here, and I really do hope it's here to stay as well. Okay guys, that pretty much wraps up this video about what I enjoyed and what I didn't enjoy of the Cold War beta. As always, if you guys have got any comments, please let me know down below what you enjoyed, what you didn't enjoy of the beta as well, and we can have a nice discussion about that. And don't forget as well, please come and join the Discord, come and talk about Call of Duty. I'm looking to really grow my community around Discord and Call of Duty and YouTube as well as Twitch, so please come and join me down there. The link is down below for you guys. And also don't forget, I do stream on Twitch every Monday and Sunday of each week from about 9 PM GMT, so please come and join me and click the link down below as well, and come and join the Sinners every Monday and Sunday. It'd be nice to see you guys, and I will see you guys very soon.